Hi, I'm Jenny. Welcome to my channel where we focus on using ordinary materials to make beautiful things. Today I'm going to show you my travel art journal setup that I plan on taking on vacation with me later this summer. We have hit vacation season, so I've been thinking about what could I take, because I don't want to spend all my time art journaling, but I would like to spend some time because that is one of the things I do to relax, and that's what vacations are for. So I want to show you what I've made and how I'm going to use it. So I have made a basic background journal, and this is out of a junk mailer. So I'm just doing a quick flip through so you can see the pages. Oops. So I'm gonna have to glue that down a little bit, which is, it's washi tape. So if you're putting washi tape, especially on the edges of pages, it's always a good idea to add a little glue. I didn't always hit all of the spots. So that's a quick flip through, but let me show you what I made it out of. So this is a similar mailer that I got. This is a travel, hey, it's a travel mailer, right? This one I think was for Broadway and off-Broadway shows that are going to be in Phoenix this year. So it was for several theaters that are having shows. So it's a little bit different size, but it has the same number of pages as this one. So you can see definitely the difference after I have done some work on it in the thickness department. So all I did was I took a travel mailer like this, and I started by putting down layers, a layer, sometimes two. If there were really dark pictures, I put a white layer of tissue or napkin before I put the colored layer over it. If there were lighter things, obviously you can still see those through the napkin, but they don't show through as much as like a really dark picture that was high contrast, like some of the playbill kind of fronts for shows, things like that. So I started with putting napkins down. So you can see this is one of the napkins I used. Let's see if I can find a page that one's on. I think that one's on this page. So you can see the green of the leaves and the pinks from the flowers behind. So you can still see some of the design a little bit. Really, you just see the colors. So I started by putting that on with just glue. I just glued down with glue stick, and then I put a layer of glue over it, which did wrinkle because it is, thin napkin paper, and then this is pretty thin as well. So it got a little wrinkly, but I don't mind, because to me that just adds some texture. At that point, I used a stencil and put some paint on. It's a little hard to see the stencil on this one. The stencil shows up really well here. You can see I used a polka dot stencil on this one. This one kind of has a honeycomb looking stencil on the pages. Here's another one that the stencil is showing up really well. So I chose a kind of turquoise blue and then kind of a pink that was about this color. And I used those throughout the entire book. So those were the only two colors I used for stenciling. And so then I could blend them and get this nice purple. I could get a more blue or more reddish, depending on what I did. You can see the stenciling here. The background was a little more white on this napkin. I had several different napkins in different patterns, but they had basically the same colors in them. So this one had some birds and leaves on it, but it was the same pinks, blues in the background, a little bit of green. So after I stenciled, I went in with some rose gold metallic paint and just sponged that on top. So it was a pretty fast process. You can see the sponging really well on this one. So, and then you can see a little bit of the napkin, blue napkin in the background here. You can see the sponging really well on this one too, with the stenciling underneath. So it just created kind of a set of dreamy kind of backgrounds. So all of the napkins had similar colors, and then using variations of the pink and blue gave me variations of the color in the background. So this one you can see had more of a leaf pattern in the background, but there's still the pink and blue over it. So it all blends together. So even though the backgrounds, each one is actually completely different, they all go together because I married them with those two colors. So I used the blue and the pink, and then some of them I made a little more purple, some of them I made a little more red. This one is much more purple. And then here's another purpley one. And then I used that kind of rose gold metallic on top to just blend everything together and push it all into the background. So now I have these backgrounds. Then I went around the edges with this gold washi tape that I found. I didn't realize I still had some. I was cleaning out my washi tape and organizing it, and I found this kind of glittery gold washi tape, and I love it. And so I had two rolls that were slightly different. So I used up the last of one roll and part of another one. And I decided that because I was going to be traveling with this, I wanted the edges to be more protected, because I had put the napkins out to the edge and glued them down and stuff. There were layers of paper on the edge, and I didn't want that to come up later. So that's why I decided to edge everything with the washi tape to give it a little more stability and security. So that's why it has that. But those, you can see I have that all the way through, and about, I think about here is where I ran out of this design. It's just a little bit slightly different design. It's the same finish, but then it starts a little bit wider. Oh, I guess it was right about here. So you can see a definite difference there in the width of the tape. But I think that helps marry it as well, and it's going to be a nice border for all of the pages when I decide to work in them. So that's just the basic gist of this, and those are basic techniques that I've done in other videos. So you can kind of take a look at those. It's just applying the napkin, stenciling some color over it, and then sponging it with the metallic. That's all there is to it. And that just came from a junk mailer like this one. This one has the exact same number of pages. It's just a little bit larger, so you can see. So the next time you get one of these flyer junk mail things in the mail, hang on to it, because it makes a nice little art journal. So this is the one I'm taking with me because it's soft and it's squishy, it's pliable, it's small, it's not gonna take up much room. So then I decided too that I needed to take a little bit of ephemera and embellishments and things with me so that I would have something to work with, because I'm figuring wherever we are, I'll probably pick up pamphlets and things like that will become the focal points. I'll put some of those in for focal points. I'll draw around those. I'll do things to the ephemera that we pick up every day. But I like embellishments. I like a lot of bling. So I made this little washi tape holder. And I saw this on a video, so I will link that video below so that you can see how it was made. It was very easy. I'll kind of tell you, but I will link the video. So this is made from part of a bag that is left from a Princess Cruises. So you can see there's the Princess Cruises. So it was part of a bag, and I used that for the cover. And then the inside is made from plastic packaging that I put pieces of black paper in. In the video that I watched, she didn't put any paper in hers. Her packaging was a little bit stiffer. The plastic was a little thicker. Mine was a little thinner, and it needed a little more stability. So I decided that if I put some black paper inside the packaging, it would give it some stability, and it would make a nice background so that you couldn't see through to the other sides of the pages. So putting the cover on it, I made a couple pockets so that I have in here a couple of envelopes. I have some just dyed paper here. There's some grid paper. Here's a few little pieces of book page that have some paint on them. Here's some music paper and a dictionary page. Here's a couple of pages of text from some older books. They have that nice yellowed patina. These are in German, I think this one is. So I have those to take that I can use to create backgrounds for my focal points, and these will be great to, you know, break up the color here. I can put something on here that will give me some contrast, or if I want to put something in it, I can glue in my envelope and make a tag or something. So all of these will provide a nice contrast that I can use in here. Then I have the book that as I said, I will link the video below on how to make this, but it contains little bits and pieces of washi tape. And I discovered when I was putting this together how much washi tape I actually have. It's kind of frightening. I have to tell you, I feel like a hoarder a little bit. So because you'll see. So I've just kind of went through my washi tape and just put a piece or two of each one in here. And the great part about this is it gives a little, so you can kind of do that and pull it up, and it's still sticky because it's on plastic. So you're just taking it off of whatever the plastic roll or whatever that it was on, like a sticker back, and putting it on this. So it's still sticky. And if you need to add a little glue, you know, I do that to most of my washi tape anyway. So that's not a big deal. So I just have myriad washi tape in here. They're sort of sorted by color so that I can kind of find them. And then I have some stickers. These are, you know, just some stickers with label stickers, and these are little tabs. Then I have some of my stick-on jewels that are in here that I can take with me. So you can see all of those. These are just some extra embellishments. In the back, I have a few strips of that faux kind of, it wasn't faux, I guess it is kind of, it's the base that we made last time and I can't think of it again. I went blank last time, but it's the base we made out of the happy scraps with the tape on the back to make the strips so that you could embellish them. So I have a few of those strips in here because those will be easy to cut up and glue on my page if I want a little piece of background or something, you know, on the page. And that looks kind of cool because it's got a lot of the same metallic in it that goes with that. So that'll be a fun little thing to put in. And then I have this one, this little bit is actually a sticky back lace. And so it's kind of large, so I left it on the roll, but I thought the color went really well with this, so I wanted to take it as well. And I'll think of the name of that, you know, just as soon as I don't need to know it anymore. So I have this embellishment packet, and when I put it together, I just sewed, as I said, this cover on made out of a bag with a folded up pocket. And then I just glued some lace to the outside. This is actually cut off from like a pillowcase. You can see the edge of the pillowcase is still on it. So it's crocheted lace from an old pillowcase. So those two things are going with me. And then I have this little packet of things to work with. So I got this at Goodwill yesterday. And I thought this would be a good holder for my markers and things like that. So I have a couple little pairs of scissors here. I have this one, and then I have a pair that folds down. So they're a little bit bigger, and these are a little more fine. And so those fold down. I've got those. I've got 2 glue sticks. I have a charcoal pencil. This one's a medium. It's a royal charcoal pencil. And I have a water brush that I am taking. That way I can do some outlining and use that water around. I was going to take my Woody Stabilo, but it's really fat and the pages are kind of small, so I didn't want anything that was too thick, so I thought my charcoal pencil, which is finer, would be better. I have my white chalk writer that I often use to outline things in white in my art journals, and then I have this black pigment ink calligraphy pen for writing quotes or things like that. Then I have an assortment of markers, and the markers take up the bulk of this, and the markers I'm taking are fat because I really like these. These are one of my favorite sets of markers. And so I kind of had to put them into several different packages. This says it's the Art of Painting pen. It's a dual tip pen. I got these they came in a big plastic package. And I think I got them at Hobby Lobby, but I've had them for several years. So I couldn't tell you, if you can still get them. They do have the chisel tip on one end, and then they have the fine tip on the other. So that's another reason I like them, is because, with the dual tip, you can use it for, different things. So I can use it for outlining, or I can use it to fill in pieces of things. So I have an assortment. I really have probably way more markers than I need, but you know how I am about color. So I have like every blue, every purple, and every red. But since I did my little book, since I did my journal in blues and reds and pinks, it seems like it would be good to have that. I also have several colors of green. I have a few more in here that didn't quite fit in here, and then I have the last couple in here. So I also have my little swatch, my little swatch card that goes with them. So I don't have all of these. Like I didn't bring all the grays. I think I brought all the blues and the greens and the purple and the orange. And so I have that. And then I have a card for, thinning things, making sure my glued on things are well pressed. And I think that's it. So there's just a few more markers in there. The markers are just kind of spread throughout this, but they're probably the bulkiest part of it. And so my plan is that I will be able to put all of these things, really all together. They're not that big. This is the biggest part and the heaviest probably. I will be able to put all of these things in one little bag, maybe like a little miniature backpack kind of purse bag thing that then I can carry with me around the ship if we want to sit somewhere and just hang out and watch the world go by and watch the scenery and enjoy some relaxation and quiet. Then I can sit there and kind of play with some art supplies and and have a good time doing that. So that is the plan, and I think this is kind of a good size little kit. Actually, this would probably even fit inside. It didn't occur to me, but I might be able to just tuck this in here and tie it shut. That might be a good option, just to get it down to 2 things to carry. But if I put it all in one little bag, then that should be good. In addition, every time we're on a cruise ship, well, not every time, most of the time when we're on a cruise ship, there's always some kind of craft class that you can go to, and so you meet other people who like to do similar things. So I thought it would be fun to bring things to share and to show, and I have a lot of extra little stickers and things in here, so I can share those with the people around me, and I have markers, and so if I have materials maybe that they don't necessarily have on board for making whatever, sometimes it's scrapbooking or card making or something like that, and they have things but they're kits or they're limited materials. So then I'll have some extra things that I can use for those and that I can share with the people around me, because when you're a crafter, you're always in good company with other crafters. We all kind of have a really great community. That's one of the great things about hanging out with other crafters. Okay, so this video is kind of short and sweet, but I just thought I'd kind of walk you through what I'm going to be taking with me when I go on vacation. I don't know, by the time you see this, I might be back. I'm not really sure when this is going to post, but until I talk to you next time, please like and subscribe. I hope you have a fabulous day. And remember, use what you have to make your life more beautiful. Bye.